Okay, let's see. Hopefully, I have sound. I don't want to be too loud. I don't want to be too quiet either. Bring that up a little. I am not super sure how that's going to sound. Because there seems to be a lot of just... Maybe that's the sound of the fan in the next room. That's also possible. But hopefully, we're not going to have a problem. There we go. I think that's good. Alright, so today we're making my version of hot and sour soup, and I am going to update you guys on where I've been the last couple of days. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not good news. This last couple of weeks, well, this last couple of days has been very, very hard for me and my roommate and my boyfriend. It's just been very difficult for all of us. I'm having trouble finding my vegetable peeler. Here it is. I should probably show it like that. Okay. So you'll have to forgive me. I'm not really used to doing streams like this anymore. I have never actually streamed in my kitchen's apartment on anywhere but TikTok, and TikTok is not necessarily the best streaming platform. They try to act like they are, but they really aren't. Stuff that's not designed for video, well, I mean, TikTok is designed for video, but TikTok is a whole nother beast from YouTube. And I really feel like places like YouTube and Twitch are the best places to stream. And I actually, to be honest, I prefer YouTube. But remember, before you cook, always wash your hands. And I'm about to wash this carrot, too. Okay. I've got my little mini mandolin here. And while I cut these vegetables, I'm going to tell you everything that happened this weekend. So, this weekend, as I said in my previous video, as I said in my episode 7 through 8 video, I went to visit my relatives for the holidays. And that was actually the fun part. Usually because of the state of my family, because of issues with a certain family member, the holidays tend to not be very fun and can oftentimes just be kind of depressing, especially because I was once incredibly close to this family member. But this year it was actually kind of fun, and it was very relaxing. Unfortunately, when I got home, my boyfriend informed me that my cat had been acting quite lethargic. And he noticed that because she's usually such a small cat, that she has been losing a lot of weight. And he says that's really weird, you know, losing weight in a matter of 3 days. And I was like, yeah, you know what? And he left for a couple of hours thinking that maybe it was just like, maybe she just didn't like the food or whatever, but no, she was acting very, very different. So I called him back after he left, and I told him, no, we need to take her to the vet. And we took her to the vet, and after a 7.5-hour wait, we were informed that she had really, really bad kidney disease. And her decline was very, very fast. When we were informed that she had kidney disease, we were told that even the treatments that were offered to us were very, very expensive, but there was no guarantee that they would work, and that the prognosis was very, very, very bad. And so we decided to do a little bit of supportive care, and we did a little bit of kitty hospice, and we hoped that maybe she would bounce back, that she would at least start eating again. She did not, and by Sunday she was confused, didn't know where she was. She hissed at me for the first time since we had gotten her. She was very, very thin, and she was yelping and meowing, couldn't make it to the litter box, and so I took her back to the vet, and the vet said her heart rate was very low, and that there was a chance that she would not survive until Monday. So we decided to make the decision to go ahead and let her rest, and that was rough. It was bad. I've only had to do that once before, and that was with my parents' dog that had cancer. And I cried. And the thing is, I'm not a crier. That's a lie. You're gonna see in episode 14 that I'm absolutely a crier. But I don't get very emotional very quickly. And there is a part of me that still doesn't understand why people cry over pets. But I was pretty beside myself for most of the day, honestly. And my boyfriend took it very hard. My poor roommate wasn't even in town. And I had to video conference her in during the entire vet appointment. It was awful. And I'm going to be honest, this house does feel very empty without that cat. We only had her for a very short time. And there's a possibility that her kidneys were messed up before we even got her. Because we know the people that adopted her littermate, and her littermate has issues with his kidneys. They were just able to diagnose it in time because he had trouble using a litter box by the time they got them. Sybil was very stringent about using a litter box, so we never had that problem with her. They just happened to spot it in time, and we didn't, unfortunately. And there's a possibility that it could have been hereditary. So, but I am glad that our cat is no longer in pain. But I am sad that she's gone. But aside from that, I've been doing okay, but because of that, the Word of Honor series is quite delayed. Now, my goal is to get at least episodes 9 through 10 out by Friday, but after everything, that is something I cannot guarantee. Like, I truly cannot. I don't know what else. I don't know when I'll be able to get it out. Now, it will be out at least till next week. That I can guarantee you. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright, now for the mushrooms. I don't know how many mushrooms I need. I usually just follow my heart because I love mushrooms. I keep forgetting that the camera's over here. Because when I was practicing this, I moved it. Okay. Now, even though it's soup, I usually take the stems out. It's just a bad habit from my food service days. I had a chef that really hated to see mushroom stems. Which, I get. They're a little bit more fibrous than you might think. And they do not sell shiitake mushrooms where I live. So we're just making do with portobellos for now. And portobellos really aren't... They're just white mushrooms with... that we're allowed to, like, grow and age. Honestly, a lot of the vegetables I'm using here are pretty fibrous, just in general. And I've been kind of surviving on whatever my boyfriend buys for the last couple of days because I just haven't been in the mood to cook. But we also have some bean sprouts here, all washed. I'll be using garlic. And yes, I use the bottled garlic because it's not as evil as people say it is. And I can say that as someone who has worked in the food service industry for some time. Okay, I don't want to use too much oil, but I want to use enough. And if you're wondering why I'm using the small eye on this giant stove, it is because the small eye is really the only one that works properly. Alright, now let's clean up a little, because I don't want my station to get too messy. Because it is very important that your station stays clean, even if you're just cooking at home. You know what? There's a part of me that wants to learn how to make lotus root soup, but lotus root is not available where I am. Like lotus root and short ribs, like in the Untamed, I really want to learn how to make that. But lotus root's very expensive where I live, and I live in the southern United States, so everything is very expensive here right now. There have been some issues with supplies, and I know the current leader of our nation keeps saying that, you know, everything's going to be fine, the shelves look great, and I have a lot of people who would disagree with him. Now this is a lot of garlic, so I'm just going to have to use a lot of ginger. Now I'm going to cook this down till at least the shallots are caramelized. And we're going to use our paddling spoon for this one. This is the kind of spoon your mom chases you around the house with. I'm just going to go ahead and screw the top off of this because there's no way I'm just going to be able to sprinkle it in. It's a lot of ginger. Woo! Oh, we're eating good tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Next, we need a fair bit of salt, actually. And I always use kosher salt, because kosher salt is what you're supposed to be using. This iodized salt isn't necessarily that good for you. I don't add the Brussels sprouts, not Brussels sprouts, excuse me, the bean sprouts until much later. is looking okay so far. It's a lot of ginger. It's like a whole lot of ginger, actually. Maybe a little too much, but, you know, there's no such thing as too much flavor. At least that's what I say now, but hopefully when I eat this stuff, I won't be regretting saying that. So, I didn't use a lot of everything, so once this gets boiled down, I think all I'm going to have to do is add the vegetable broth. And once I finish with the vegetable broth, I shouldn't have to add any water, or at least that's what I think. I'm probably going to add a little bit of cornstarch just to be safe, but I have to go find it. Which involves me stepping over my computer's charge cord, which... Ooh, I'm not sure how I feel about that. If you hear a loud noise, that's me tripping. Okay, let's see... Alright, I found it. Oh, I got it. Alright, I will probably only need about a half cup of water. I don't really like to make a roux with this kind of soup. I feel like butter drags the flavor down. I only need a little bit of cornstarch. But when you do make a cornstarch slurry, make sure everything is dissolved so you don't get weird chunks. Alright. See, look at that. That's nice and cooked down. So, we add our vegetable broth first. And it smells great. Yeah, I'm going to use the whole thing. And then... Alright, now for the good shit. I haven't made this stuff in a while, so I'm hoping it's still the good shit. Okay, so first things first is we add our... No, actually. First things first is we add our soy sauce. Then we add our sriracha, which, get that stuff off the top. Oh, jeez. There we go. There's a reason why I have this giant bottle, okay? This stuff, I put this shit on everything. Alright, give that a healthy mix. And that should change the color of your soup to a much darker color. Then next, you add red pepper flakes. And a ton of lime juice. I add a lot to this stuff. And let me tell you, this absolutely does keep the cold away. I know it just seemed like a crazy woman, adding a whole bunch of stuff to this milieu of spices, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna add another half cup of water here, so we can mellow out the flavors a little bit. Because this soup is pretty intense if you're not used to eating stuff like this. Like, I can't say definitively that this is hot and sour soup, mostly because it's gonna have noodles in it. So, I like to add a lot of cilantro. And Thai basil. Ooh, I'm almost out of Thai basil. Look at that. It's so sad. Mix that. Oh, that looks really good. And then one more thing that I forgot is I need some rice vinegar. What the rice vinegar does is, because rice vinegar has sugar in it, it adds to the acidity, but it also takes the edge off just a little bit, because that's what sugar does. That's why people add sugar to tomato sauce and, well, vinegar. It takes the edge off. It's very nice. Sorry, that was meant to be more educational than it was, and I just kind of stuttered through it. Alright, a little bit of rice wine vinegar. I was going to add just a wee bit of chili oil, but this thing is already hot enough. It's got sriracha and red pepper flake in it. I don't really think it needs chili oil. But look at that. I want to bring the camera closer, but I'm afraid it's going to fall into the soup. Okay, and in the meantime, I'm going to clean up a little, because all of my stuff is now used. I use the entire thing of broth. As a matter of fact, I use so much on days like these that my boyfriend actually just went by Costco and bought me a whole, like, box. So, if there's anybody in the chat, if there's anybody watching, please tell me how your holiday went, and please tell me it was better than mine. I want to hear some good things. If there's even anybody there. I hope there's someone there. Alright, and we're going to make some room for the lime juice here, because I use lime juice in a ton of things, too. Let me put my cornstarch away. I shouldn't need to spruce this sauce up anyway else, but I do want you all to take a look at what it looks like inside. Okay, hang on. There we go. That's how the soup looks. It's not exactly flattering, but it'll look better when it's got the noodles added and when it starts boiling. There we go. Okay, and then when it starts boiling, that's when I add the bean sprouts. But for right now, we're just going to put everything away. Including the shallots. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to add is the noodles. Ooh, it's boiling. But yeah, I really just wanted to keep you guys updated on everything that's happening. I, it sucks. It's not that, it's just this holiday weekend really sucked. Hanging out with my family was the easy part, but having to deal with everything regarding the cat was not easy. And while you won't be seeing her in any more videos, and while she won't be around anymore, I did really enjoy having her around. And to be fair, I like cats now. I argued with my roommate for weeks saying, no, we're not going to have a cat. We're not going to have a cat. I don't want a cat. And then, okay, the cat's not allowed in my room. Then she was allowed in my room. Then she was allowed on my bed. And I don't know. I'm just really glad for the experience, And I hope we were able to give her the happiest cat life possible. But yeah, I just wanted to keep you guys updated. And I can't guarantee that the Word of Honor episode, I can't guarantee that, here, let me just get down and talk to you guys. I don't think I can do that. I'll just bend over. How about that? I'll just bend over. So I can't really guarantee that the Word of Honor episodes 9 through 10 will come out this week. It probably won't be until next week, but, c'est pas, I'll see what I can do. But I really can't do much right now. Mostly because I have a huge backlog of professional work that I have to see to that I never got a chance to get back to when I came back home after visiting my parents. So I think I'm gonna need to, yeah, I think it might not come out till next week. I apologize, but that's just how it's going to have to be. I've got a lot of work to do professionally, and that's the stuff that's going to earn me money. Although I really enjoy watching Word of Honor, there are some other professional things I've got to do. So, once again, thank you guys for watching. I just wanted to give you guys an update, and thank you very much for your support on TikTok and on Twitter and Tumblr, and everyone who sent their condolences. It was very, very sweet of you. You guys have a great day. Bye!